Marketing done well is an act of creative destruction. Destruction because you turn the world of your market upside down and create something new, something that they want to embrace. And this is something that all businesses should aim to do, because it is when you create something new, when you offer something new, that you actually have a chance of transforming the world around you. Old methods cannot possibly change the way that the world works. Of course, we're all inhibited from doing this sort of work because most of us have a small critic, a mini-me, who sits on our shoulder and whispers in our ear, "You're rubbish. You're no good. You're a failure. It'll never work. And even if you get it to work, you're going to have to do it again because everything will change." And on and on. Or else that same critic will turn its attention to the tools that you're using. You should never have bought that. You should never have invested all that money in that particular marketing tool. All those hours of work you put in and you've nothing to show for it. That tool simply doesn't work. The critic allocates blame. And yet, we're all familiar with critics who create 5-star reviews. Why can't your critic be a positive critic, a critic that praises you? And it does depend on us having a different model for understanding why our businesses go wrong. I'm going to suggest such a model, but before I do that, I want to tell you a bit about my story. For 30 years I was a community development worker. I was involved in projects around economic regeneration, community planning, and for the last 8 years of those 30 years, I was responsible for a national grant fund worth over £1 million a year. So I've been around the country, I've seen many projects, I've read the applications of many projects. And then in 2011 I was made redundant, and I felt at the time that really I didn't want to carry on in employment. I wanted to do my own stuff. I wanted to do my own research, my own thinking. I wanted space for myself. So I cast around. I went to a few workshops, most notably Business Sheffield's self-employment workshop, and I was attracted to the lifestyle of the self-employed. I wanted some of that, and so I decided that I would give it a try. It was probably not a terribly good decision because I didn't have a clue what I was going to sell. I did some training in website design, and soon, whilst I found it useful and helpful and it's deepened my understanding of marketing, you can't make a business out of website design today. But one thing that led me to was reading about marketing, watching videos about marketing, and I discovered something that surprised me, and that is that I've been using these techniques for those 30 years as a development worker. We didn't call it marketing, we called it campaigning or publicity or project development or whatever it was, but essentially there is not a lot of difference in the methods that I use. Marketing to me was highly familiar, and so I established myself as a local marketing coach. And the reason why I emphasize local marketing is that I believe most of the marketing that is available to us today somewhat misses the point. Let me try and illustrate this. Imagine someone who has trained as a coach, maybe a business coach or a life coach, any topic you like. They have the qualifications, they have the experience, they have the understanding, the knowledge, the skills, everything that they need. but they still do not have an offer. I have coached a business coach who, having done 7 years of training, had done very little about marketing. And until you know what it is that you're going to sell, then it's actually not possible to sell it. It takes time to do that envisioning of your potential. And once you've done that, and once you have found something that you know you can sell, you need to learn how to market it and how to sell it. And these two initial steps are absolutely crucial. If you're planning to sell to hundreds or thousands of people, you can only do that if you can sell over a cup of coffee. Because when you sell over a cup of coffee and you get a refusal, you get the reason for that refusal. And that is useful information. And so you gradually learn what works and what doesn't work. As you learn to sell, as you learn to market and then to sell, you also build the capacity of your business. And this is an important step in business development, because without capacity, it is not possible to move on to the later stages of business development, where you are moving from selling to those initial few to selling to the mainstream. And if you are selling online and getting hundreds or thousands of customers, you need the capacity to support those customers. As you see, I am describing a business growth, business development model. And the point is that if you choose a marketing tool from later in that model, then it is unlikely to work if you are at the early stages. You need to do the basics before you move on to the advance. Let me give you an example. Email marketing is great at the third or fourth stage in your business development. It's not going to work in the first stage. It might be worth setting it up so that you're building your list in preparation for later, but don't expect email marketing to necessarily deliver for you at that early stage. There are basic foundational things that you need to do in the early stages that really cannot be leapfrogged. If you do leapfrog them with some success, you're most likely going to find you have to backtrack later. But it is worth having a vision of what's possible in the future. The fifth stage of development is where you become an authority in your chosen business. And that is an extremely rare occurrence for businesses to get to that stage. But they are the businesses that have laid good, secure foundations that get there. It's helpful to envisage your potential future because it gives a direction to your business growth and business development. And it helps you to make the decisions that you need to make as your business develops. You can, of course, choose to stop at any stage if you decide that you are earning enough and that you'd rather spend the rest of your time doing other stuff, or you can choose to go to that towards that more distant goal. The choice is yours. So, this is the point about why businesses fail. They fail because we put our energy into tools that are not appropriate for the stage that our business is at. So, let me encourage you then to think about the stage that your business development is at. I offer coaching to consultants, to coaches, to freelancers who are in those early stages. I help them interrogate their business to really understand the business that they're in. I help them upgrade their business in 5 different dimensions so that they have something remarkable to sell, and I help them to design their marketing plan. I'm introducing a new offer, and it is a low-end offer for those who cannot, at the stage they're at, afford the full-scale coaching. For a small outlay every month, you will receive a newsletter with a theme for the month and a set of questions that you can use to interrogate your own business. If you do that, you will find that it's worth the fee from the beginning. But in addition to that, you get the option of a meeting once a month with other participants to really help one another answer those questions and to dig deeper into them. And also you get the option of a 10 or 15 minute relevant conversation with me. So if you're interested, look at the instructions below, and you can sign up for a one-to-one meeting with me where I can explain more, particularly explain more about how businesses develop, and we can look at how relevant that is to your business, so that you will walk away from that meeting with some benefit and hopefully also decide to join us in what could be a fantastic voyage of discovery for all the businesses involved. My name is Chris Sissons. My business is called Market Together. Don't forget to do your marketing. Do it now. Do it passionately. Do it together. Thank you.